Hello there everyone, welcome back to the part 2 of our project ARS. In the last video we talked about our project and I gave the basic idea what our project was, and in this video we are going to be revealing our project and we'll be discussing about the hardware. So I'm going to reveal my project. So here comes project ARS. So this is my whole rover and the science data collects. It's really awesome. And we got the camera here, which is the OV7670 camera module. We can click images of the surroundings by it. And the second sensor is HCSR04 ultrasonic sensor, which uses ultrasonic waves to sense the distance of an object. So we'll be discussing about the working later. And then the next sensor is the DS11 temperature humidity module. Well, you can't see it right now, I'll take it out. So this is the DS11 temperature humidity module. It senses temperature and humidity of the surroundings. And then we have got the 433 megahertz transmitter. I made the antenna myself. Okay, it's just a bit loose because of soldering. And wait, okay, it's placed now. And I did the wiring myself. And then we have got the computer of this project, which is the Arduino Uno microcontroller board. From this place we program it by connecting it to the computer. And then we have got the movement controller, which is this system. So this system controls the movement of these motors, from which we can move it forward or backward. Okay. And what else? We made the ankle ourselves by some antennas, and this we made a holder for holding the battery, which would power the Arduino to get all the systems running. And we also made another battery pack which would contain a power source for controlling the motors. Or for moving the vehicle. We got the breadboard here and got a bit dusty. So that's all for this. And now this is the receiver station. We got the 433 megahertz receiver and the antenna and the Arduino receiver board, or we can say microcontroller. So this is the receiver station on Earth, and this is the center of Mars or any of the planets. We can suppose that it's not going anywhere. And now I'll show you the remote. So this is the remote of my remote control car, and it's turned on because I have the batteries. And I'll tell you how I got the this motor controller. So I had a car like this one, then I opened it up, I disassembled it, and then I took out the motors from inside, which were inside this. Then I removed the solder from those motors, the wires, and then I took those wires, which were these two yellow wires and the other one also yellow one, and then I soldered them here and the other side, so the both terminals are soldered. And then after that I got it working. But the problem that I got on the science exhibition day was that a child came up and then he broke the antenna of the remote, so this was not working properly. Its range was about 10 to 15 meters, and then it decreased to 2 meters. The working means the movement range, and the actual range of sensing this data was about 1 kilometer, which I see it worked for 200 meters properly because of the antenna. This is a mid-wavelength antenna of 27 centimeter. The maximum wavelength antenna is of 69 centimeter, and the minimum is about 13 centimeter, means 1/4 wavelength. And in the next video we'll be talking about the software, and these wirings are really complex, as you can see here. And you see all the Arduino pins are filled up. These are the power supplies. And we also took a wooden slab, means a piece of wood, and then we fixed it up here and screwed it down from here, and we fixed the camera here so that it would look just like curiosity, and it could see objects for a bit more distance, because keeping it down it will be just stupidity. And then the ultrasonic sensor also means if we hinder an object, so we can see like a rock if it comes in the path, so we can stop the rover and we can align it to the other road. And now I'll be telling you the working. So this camera works just by clicking the images, and there's a really long program. Then this ultrasonic sensor, so how this just work. As you can see here is season T and this is R. So C is a transmitter pin and R is a receiver pin, trigger pin and echo pin, trigger and echo pin. So this ultrasonic sensor emits 8 bursts of 40 kHz directional ultrasonic wave, which travel outward until they hinder an object. The object causes the waves to reflect back. Now when the waves reflect back, means this is the object and this is the sensor, so waves come from this, and then the object causes the wave to reflect back. So the waves come like this and they go back, and this receiver senses the waves coming, so it can sense the which waves are coming, and then it can calculate the distance by using the simple formula that distance is equal to speed upon time. So the speed of ultrasonic wave is about 340 meters per second in air, and it calculates the time as the trigger pin starts the emitting of the waves. It starts the trigger, and then when the receiver senses it, it stops the trigger. And then the DST sensor module, it has got some I don't remember the word. What are they called? Some T thing was there. So they can sense temperature, and then you might not know what are these pins. So this positive pin means it's the power supply, and the negative is ground, and the out is means the data. So we need to power it so that we can control it. But now what if you buy this kit and then you just wired it? Now you'll say it's not working. What's the problem? You have to program this Arduino board so that it knows what do you need to, what it has to do. It is given instructions. So when you program it through a computer using Arduino IDE, then it knows what it needs to do. So it performs the functions and then gives this sensor the command to sense the data and then give it back. So that's how it's done. And we got some ICs, oscillators, and other things on this board. We'll be discussing about Arduino board later. And this was it for this video. And yeah, I screwed this up so that we can hold it. And you can buy this rover chassis. It's about 700 or I think 1000 Indian rupees. And wait, I'll show you the the circuit diagrams. Okay, so I've got the circuit diagrams here. I think so. Yeah. So this I have printed the command so that to use the camera, it's a command. First we have to take the command prompt first we have to take command prompt to C, and then there's the output. That's all. We'll do the tutorial later. And this is the receiver station. We ignore this LCD. This is the receiver circuit. My last video got paused because of some error, but we'll continue. And ignore this LCD because we're using serial monitor to display the output. And then okay, this is the camera. This is the camera circuit diagram. This is the Arduino Uno, and this is the camera pins which are here. And these are the camera pins here, as you can see. So they are about 8. Okay, so I'm back. I just got this my video just paused. Okay, so we were here. So I told you about the pins. Now this is the circuit diagram of the transmitter of the ultrasonic sensor. So and this is the ultrasonic sensor, the transmitter, and the Arduino. So the data pin, the 5-volt pin, which is VCC. VCC is also known as power supply. So VCC is going to the 5-volt power supply, and the trigger pin is going to the trigger pin, which is a white one. It's going to pin number 9. The trigger pin is going to pin number 9. We have to remember this. And then the echo pin, means the receiver pin, it's going to pin number 8. So I had a problem in my science exhibition that the camera also required pin number 9, pin number 8, digital 8 for HREF pin somewhere here, and the DHT also required some pins in this. So there was a bit problem, and that time I was not too good in programming, and I had a bit problem that I didn't know how to use pins. Means I knew, but I was not that good in programming with Arduino. I know Java very good, and I had a bit problem. So in the next, I'm going to also review. This is a circuit diagram of the transmitter of the ultrasonic sensor. So this is the ultrasonic sensor, the transmitter, and the Arduino. So the data pin, the 5-volt pin, which is VCC. VCC is also known as power supply. So VCC is going to the 5-volt power supply, and the trigger pin is going to the trigger pin, which is a white one. It's going to pin number 9. The trigger pin is going to pin number 9. We have to remember this. And then the echo pin, means the receiver pin, it's going to pin number 8. So I had a problem in my science exhibition that the camera also required pin number 9, pin number 8, digital 8 for HREF pin somewhere here, and the DHT also required some pins in this. So there was a bit problem, and well, that was it for today, and we'll be meeting in the next video with the programming. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you find this video good, and lately we'll be completing series, I think, because I gotta study and my exams are about to come, and that's all. And I'll also be doing tutorials lately on SCS-704 and OV7670 camera and DHT and manual things. So meet you later, and goodbye.